Light chip advantage for Joseph. As you can see, he looks in on Jack 4 and calls. Ace 10 of diamonds for Eugene. He checks.
Chong taking a bit of a different approach here, not raising the button.
And Eugene has flopped the nut flush.
He's got the royal flush draw. Not that he needs it.
Jacks for Joseph. Catch has bet 1,600. And Chong calls.
I give Eugene credit. By having bet the flop, he makes it that much more difficult for Joe to put him on the flush. Who would bet the nut flush on the flop, right?
It's a tough turn card for Joe. He has made 3 of a kind and bets 3,000.
And that's, of course, because Eugene checked it to him, which is a fantastic check. He's reeling Joe in here.
Oh, rivers of 4 of spades and a full house for Chong.
Are you kidding me? This is the first pot we're seeing in this match, the nut flush against a boat.
Kachalov is checked. Chong bet 6,600.
There is a pair out there, but you can't expect Eugene to just call, and in fact, you see the raise to 18,000. Joe is loving this.
I'm all in.
Yeah, and he's going to try to put Eugene all in.
Oh, that looks set it all. Eugene knows with the pair out there, the nut flush is vulnerable. And if you've got the nut flush, what is Joe shipping it with?
I feel like a little if I just called you with this.
And Eugene lays down the ace-high flush.
That's no Harvey home game.
3.
Continues his passive play. He just calls. Not going to raise with the ace.
9 deuce for Ferguson. What's he thinking about with this hand?
I have no idea. But I think he assumes Phil is weak.
He raises to 28,000 and Phil quickly calls. Flop is deuce 5-9. What a flop for Ferguson, playing that hand and hitting 2 pair on the flop.
He raised it up with a nothing hand and he's flopped 2 pair, and Phil Hellmuth has flopped an inside straight draw.
Ferguson leads out with 40,000.
Now Phil can make an inside straight. He's also got an ace, and it's the ace of hearts. There's 2 hearts out there.
So he calls and makes his straight.
This is a very dangerous situation here for Chris Ferguson. He has 2 pair, and Phil Hellmuth has a very disguised straight.
Ferguson checks.
Chris Ferguson might be more afraid of the flush than of a straight.
Hellmuth bets 40,000.
Chris is going to want to find out where Phil is at. He's not too concerned with a straight, but he's a little concerned with a flush. He's going to assume he has the best hand here. But he wants to know for sure. Looks like he's going to raise here to make sure.
Another 80 up to 120 now.
Phil Hellmuth has a straight. He's up 1 game to 0. It's possible that Chris Ferguson has a flush, but I don't think Phil can be concerned with that at this point.
I'm all in.
No, he's moving all in.
Chris Ferguson did not expect this. He is shocked. He's trying to figure out right now all the possible hands that Phil Hellmuth could have.
Another flush on me or something?
Now, Phil Hellmuth has picked the right time to go all in. Chris Ferguson has a hand that he might call with. But I don't think that most players would call this bet with their tournament life on the line.
When I play this hand, I deserve to lose all my money.
He calls. And again, the crowd comes to its feet.
Only a 9 or a deuce will save Chris Ferguson.
You can sense a thinly veiled smile on Phil Hellmuth's face. He knows he's a big favorite here, a 91% favorite, as a matter of fact, to win this hand, win the match, and win the entire tournament.
9 or deuce.
A 9!
Unbelievable. Hellmuth hits the deck.
and Ferguson hits the lottery to make a miracle full house. That's a huge pot, and it leaves Hellmuth severe.
All right, so the hole cards of Toto Leonidas turn up an ace-7, and he looks like he does want to play. Toto Leonidas will bet 50,000 chips on that ace-7. Eric Seidel decides that he does not want to play, and then over to Phil Hellmuth, and he does have a queen-jack offsuit.
Yeah, and Eric almost is just a eyewitness to all the high noon showdowns between these two guys right now.
And not a bad move on his part either, as Phil calls. And so with those hole cards, Leonidas with a 58% chance of winning. Here comes the flop. It's queen, 7, and 8. Phil Hellmuth now with a pair of queens.
A better flop for Phil than Toto. He has top pair with queens. Toto has bottom pair with 7s. And Phil has checked, perhaps trying to bait Toto into betting and making a mistake.
Phil, a 4-1 advantage to win this hand right now.
All in.
And all in, says Toto Leonidas, with just a pair of 7s. He did pair the board with the 7s.
This is what Phil wants.
Nope, no glasses. I'll turn the hat, but I won't put the glasses on.
Why would you bet so much, Toto?
That's from the Phil Hellmuth Book of Irritating Questions.
Why would you bet so much?
And that is a good question. He knows he has top pair. He just has to believe he has Toto beat right now.
I call.
Phil Hellmuth will go all in and put his chips at risk.
And he's at a big advantage. This is what he's been waiting for against Toto.
We go to the turn. It's a 6, no help. Leonidas needs an ace or a 7 on the river. It's a 7, and he got it. 3-7.
In a $500 ante, that means they're putting in $5,000 each round every 3 hands. Gowan opens with king, queen of diamonds on the button. It looks like she actually limped in. And Gazes and Forrest both check. Small connected cards. Gazes has flopped a flush. Gowan has flopped top pair. This could get ugly.
Or pretty, depending on your perspective.
This is one of those situations where you would think Cloney might raise here, not wanting to give Gazes a free shot at a flush, but she may sense something. 10,500 in the pot. It's up to Gazes. She's bet 20,000.
It's another hard situation for Gowan.
Actually, there was 24.5 in the pot. She's now bet 20,000. We hadn't updated the pot size there from the last round. It's a really tough spot for Cloney. I don't see how she gets away from this hand without at least losing some more chips. She calls. If she hits a queen or a jack here, she's in big trouble. Oh, wow. What a draw out. Gowan now has the top full house. She's betting 40,000, and this is really, really bad news for Christy. She knows that she's probably just been drawn out on. It's 40,000, and she lays it down. She played this hand beautifully. I know she's disappointed, but she really played the hand well. Nothing she could do about it. What a bad beat. She was up against one pair on the flop. It took runner. It took first the pair on the board and then the queen on the river for her to lose that pot.
A